Hi there. Do do do. Just. Hey, what's going on? Wasn't sure if this was working or not. How's the... It looks like my quality might be a little bit low. So we'll have to see. Couldn't get it to connect with Facebook. So I think I'm going to have to put a link on Facebook. Yeah, that's cool. If anybody, I'm down with that, so it's okay. Hi Perry, how you doing, buddy? I'm just I've got all my comic books back here, and I've got all these over here that I have to integrate into this here. So good afternoon to you too. Hope everything's going well with you, man. I gotta go get a step ladder. I'll be right back. Handy dandy step ladder here. Yeah, I'm in the same boat right now, man. Hopefully it's not because it's a lack of a job. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But hopefully you're quarantining on your own just because you need to. So, let's see here. I'm going to put a link on Facebook. I tried to connect my Streamlabs to Facebook and it was giving me a hard time. And I'm doing this through my phone, or else I would have used StreamYard as well. Also, I have this new the new Facebook. Have you used the new Facebook yet? It's not too different, but it still takes a little bit of getting used to. All right. Oh, thank you. Thanks, babe. I just put one on my personal page as well. Okay, so I guess we want to start from the top and work our way down. I know that this is the D's. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. The B's right here. All right. Dun, 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 dun. I think we'll have to start here. I think I need to get like some plywood up on these shelves to make these slide easier, because the cardboard gets snagged on these wire frames really easy. So, okay. So these are my A's through. These are just my A's actually. I need B's. And so these B's, this box is already completely full, as you can see. So we'll see if I have any room. Wait, what does that say? Oh, this must be Solo Avengers. That's why it's in the A's. But it's actually a Hawkeye comic, which sometimes I screw up my own alphabetical order on things. Like this box is full of mostly Batman. So this might just be an additional box that I don't have to organize, I just have to put up on the shelf. Oh, so this starts with Battle of the Planets, which means the very back one back there was the Batmans. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Thanks for posting the link. Of course, I put the ones I need to put up first, all the way in the back, because why not, right? Okay. Here we go. So then this is going to be probably some A's as well. Some, yeah, Action Comics, Astro City, Azrael. Oh, you know what? I need to go get some coffee. Let's go get some coffee. So, I know it's not the most exciting thing happening today, but thanks for hanging out with me. It's nice to have some human interaction while I futz around and do some organization that I need to do. Obviously, nobody's getting any brand new comics anytime soon, so I figured, you know, since I'm not adding to the pile, I might as well continue to organize and put away what I already have. So how's everybody else doing out there? Is everybody trying to make it through the best they can? It's kind of a dreary day today here in Florida. Looks like it wants to rain. Later today, I'm going to be hanging out with Justice for Comics. He does a thing called Whiskey, Cigars, and Comics. All three things that I absolutely love. Here's my cigars right here. Look at that. I love cigars. Have them every once in a while, every blue moon, you know, sit outside my back patio. And that, hopefully, if it doesn't rain, that's where I'll be sitting with them later on. Sitting out in the back, because I'm not allowed to smoke in the house, obviously. So hopefully the weather permits for both of us, because he's here in Florida as well. So what am I doing? But I think he's got a little overhang thing. Yeah, storms are brewing. Yeah, maybe I can hang out in my garage. I have to ask my wife if that's too much inside the house for smoking a cigar. All right. So Perry, I'd like to do a live stream with you sometime. Get on board with your stuff. You guys have a lot of good conversations that. I do what you do, I lurk, so I lurk at your guys' conversations a lot of times. But obviously I'm a pretty big comic fan myself, so just something to think about in the future. It's a nasty habit, smoking cigars, no doubt about it, right? But And my wife was asking me, well, like, you don't like inhale the cigar. You don't. You're not smoking it in. What do you get out of it? And a lot of times it's a flavor, and you still get kind of a nicotine buzz out of it because you get the smoke in your mouth, and it gets in those blood vessels under your tongue, which are highly susceptible. Gives you kind of a cool feeling, you know. I don't know. I'm looking too far into it. All right. So, I mean, it's been so long since I organized these comics that I have Action Comics 1000 still sitting here. I have a couple versions. I have a couple different versions here. But I stopped collecting Action Comics. I stopped collecting Superman just because it seems a lot of times that his story isn't as malleable, can't go as many places as like Batman can. A character shrouded in so much mystery, you know what I'm saying? Army of Darkness and Bubba Hotep. Now, a lot of people just think that this comic was trash, but it's funny seeing two Bruce Campbell characters play against each other. And man, it has been a long time because Astro City 47. Look at this corgi. This character cracks me up so much. I miss Astro City, but I know Busiek went through like some cancer problems and stuff like that, and now he's just kind of like, you know, we're gonna put out stories probably in trade paperback form, more likely, or one shots, and that's cool. But I kind of miss those comics because those comics were around starting back in the day, like when I really started getting into comics, like 1994, when I was collecting like heavily for the first time, you know. All right, let me put away these A's here. I don't think I have enough room in my A's though. This is going to take a lot of organization. Hopefully people aren't commenting on the link I put on Facebook because I obviously can't see that through my Streamlabs. So Perry, let me ask you, when it comes to StreamYard, can I connect to you through my phone on StreamYard? I know I can't host a video on StreamYard through my phone, and both my wireless camera and the camera built into my laptop are absolute crap. So I want to have as good of quality as possible. But when I join Justice later today, I don't really know what we're going to talk about. There's nothing new out there, and I just want to drink some whiskey and smoke a cigar and talk about comic books. I mean, that's the perfect afternoon. So. Okay. Now I'm getting all my boxes confused here. This is... Yeah. Alright. Abe Sapien. Alright, okay. Have you read the American Vampire series by I think it was Scott Snyder, wasn't it? Yeah, Scott Snyder. I think they're making that into a TV show, and that actually looks really good. Oh, if that makes any sense. Yes, okay, alright. Interesting. So would I kind of be joining my own chat? Is that what it is? Now, here's what I was talking about confusing myself with my own alphabetizing, is that I don't have Action Comics in the A box. I probably have it in the Superman box, because it always says Superman in Action Comics. So, whatever. Astro City's still in here, and I gotta put those away. So I have a kind of a little honey hole down here where I live in Bradenton, and I get these like this. This is one of the first appearances of Star-Lord, and I got this for $5. Now, it's not in fantastic condition, but we all know that these books go for high prices sometimes, especially, like, they always spike around the time that a new Guardians movie comes out. So the corners are a bit rough, you know, but for $5 for a 1970s appearance of Star-Lord, I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's Marvel's Preview 14. So I have a little honey hole that I've been finding, and the guy knows it too. He like puts Easter eggs or little hidden gems in the long boxes, and he knows it, and he puts it on Facebook, and he's like, hey, I put about $100 worth of comics out there, divided between like 3 comics. So you just gotta know what you're looking for. So it's a real kind of treasure find for people who know what they're doing. I forgot I even got this. Archie and Batman 66. Now I love Batman 66. My whole bar setup is set up around Batman 66. Here, let me take another walk and show you the bar area. You might have got a glimpse when I showed you the humidor a little while ago. Let me flip this around. But so that's actually signed by Adam West, that Adam West figure, and that Robin is signed by Burt Ward. And then some blueprints of the Batmobile. All the way down. I loved the pose of him doing the Batusi. Just like that one up there. And then you gotta have, this is my newest acquisition here, you gotta have the Bat phone bank, you know? So, there's that. But Batman 66 was like the first live action Batman that I ever saw. I think it was kind of, maybe it sticks with me because it's one of the like first live action superheroes I ever saw. Because, you know, they weren't on TV back in the 80s, the live, like, real superheroes. Like, you could see him in the movies. Like, Christopher Reeves, like, did Superman, but that was in the movies. That wasn't on TV. That wasn't something you could come home to every day after school and sit down and watch. So I think that's why that has stuck with me so well. Let me plug my phone back in. Because I know Streamlabs kind of sucks the battery out of the phone for sure. So I'm in the Batmans now. Oh, one reason that I talked about finding a honey hole is that you find these old adventure comics. These have Supergirl and Vigilante. And I haven't even read these, but for $1, no, this was $2. $2 a piece. Why not, right? And again, I consider those to be quality because of the age, that they're still around and still in pretty good condition now. A comic book collection doesn't necessarily have to consist of quantity, but quality for sure. I have a lot of quantity here that I don't necessarily need, but in today's day and age, like with the TV shows taking over the properties, you don't know what kind of investment you might have in there that you didn't realize to begin with. So, so I need to go back here. And here's my. In the Joe Hill comics, the Black Label Joe Hill comics, I was talking about that in my last comic book haul. I freaking love those books. Basketful of Heads is amazing. It's about a girl who basically has to defend herself. She's at this rich dude's house, has to defend herself, and there's a bunch of like artifacts. Like the guy's like an art collector, an artifact collector, and and these guys break into the house, and in a moment of self-defense, she takes this axe out of this display case, and with one swipe just chops the guy's head off, but the head stays alive. And she has to do this multiple times, as you know, people are shady characters for the most part. Okay. So I have a lot of comics here that I need to... So I had bought this whole set of American Vampire comics, but the seller sent them to me in like one giant poly bag. And so I haven't actually bought bags and boards, I think specifically for these, and I never used them. But I hate that when people bulk package their comics. Like if you're going to sell comics, sell them properly and put them in the correct packaging, because people buying them are collectors. Now I have this Sixth Gun over here. Let's see that camera. Now this guy right here, this is just the regular first issue, but the free comic book day issue is also worth quite a bit as well. And I found one on eBay. The free comic book day issue, it's gone down in price, since the pilot that was filmed for this book had bombed and not really gotten any leverage. I had found one on eBay for $5, and I was like, yes, sweet, let's do this. So I bought it, and it showed up in a manila envelope, just completely tore up. And I was really heartbroken. And it just turns out that it was this old lady who didn't know what she had, and didn't know anything about comics, and just threw it in an envelope and threw it in the mail, and it got all bent up and beat up, and by the time it got to me, it was probably just worth the $5 that I had paid for it, as opposed to the $60 that it was worth at the time. So, buyer beware. So a lot of times when I buy comics, I will message them. If I'm unsure, I'll message them and just ask them, you plan on bag and boarding this? Because that's the only way to mail those. I'm stalling. I'm not actually putting anything away. All right. Is there I wish I had a notification that I could look up and see when people are commenting. So let's go back down here. These out, put them over here because they're going to be S's. Army Life. I don't even know where this came from. I don't even know. It smells so bad and old. I don't even know where that came from. Army Life. Let's go past Army of Darkness. Archie, Batman 66. I think I'm missing one issue from this. I got 1 through 3. I think it was 4 issues. But I like the way Mike Allred does Batman. There's his classic surfing Batman right there. Another icon. I like the way he draws Batman. He's a very clean and crisp artist, which really grabs my eye. I know it throws a lot of people off. They don't really care for his art that much, but it's cool that he does the artwork and his wife does the inks for him. So, let's see here. Archie. There we go. And Adventure Comics is going to go here. Like, here's a Marvel What If, but I put it with my Age of Apocalypse comics. So, like I said, my own organization is completely jacked. City probably goes into the next box. Maybe. 39, 40. Robot. That's one book I always wanted to get into, was Atomic Robot, but it had been out for so long, and those issues, people really kind of seek those issues, those early issues. I think 52 was the last issue. Alex Ross's art and his character designs, sometimes they end up being a little too generic, his character designs, but then there's other times where he designs like Spider-Man for a video game or a movie concept, and it looks so just badass. Okay. I think that is it for this box. Easy enough. That's all that's fitting in that box. That's not that lid. There we go. The A's are done, man. It was easy enough because I only had like 5 A's, which is more than I had on my report cards in high school. Try to stay in focus for you guys. All right, what do we got here? Oh, another couple of books that I found scattered around the little honey hole that I go to are these certified. They're not in great condition, but they're autographed. See the autograph right there? This is Vampirella and this Gatecrashers. This was one by, this is an early one by Connor and Palmiotti, I think when they were first getting into the business. Also Mark Waid signed it. There's Mark Waid, and then there's Palmiotti and Connor. They have their own, I guess it was done by an individual like comic book shop signing. Once again, not in great conditions. The corners are a little beat up, but a Mark Waid autograph is always worth it to me. He's a classic, you know what I'm saying? So I had actually had those out for selling. Oh, here's one that I need to get pressed and graded. This is an old one, and I got this for dirt cheap, and this is quite a valuable one. Also, it's from like 47. This is 1947, something like that. But it's the first appearance of Chippendale. And I'm a huge Chippendale fan. So you can see him. I don't think you can see it quite right, but that's this picture right here. Had an artist at Disney draw that up and put my name on it and stuff. But yeah, so this one's just been sitting aside because I don't want to lose it in a box. I don't want to go anywhere with it. This is probably one of the oldest ones that I have. Now I have Superman Tim books from the 40s. Once again, I have a display that I can show as well. Let me turn on the hallway light here. And let me flip the cam. Now, for those of you who don't know, Superman Tim was a collaboration between Tim's Store for Boys and Superman. And I actually have the collector's pins here, Tim's Store for Boys. And that was their first club that they were doing, but then they did a collaboration, Superman Tim Club. And obviously, with my name being Tim, how could I not get those those pins, right? Then I started collecting the books, and this one is from 46. It's a 4.0 because these books were basically handout mailing pamphlets that had like games and activities for kids. So on the back probably is the address written in ink to the recipient that it was going to, and the puzzle on the inside might have been filled out and stuff like that. But they would also mail you these coupons. and they would come in only these three denominations here, and this is what you would use to buy stuff out of the catalog, which is kind of what this was. Besides a fun activity book, it was kind of a catalog to show what was available in the stores at times. This is a reprint poster. It was in one of the ads for when they were getting ready to do the whole Superman Tim thing. And then I got a couple ungraded ones here, but I kind of stuck them in these frames. This one is from, again, 1946, and I think this one is from 1944. It doesn't have the date on the front. And then I have a couple more. They always show up in rough condition because, you know, just like any magazine that a kid gets, they're going to scribble all in it, and they're going to, you know, mess it up. Oh, wait a minute. I got one right here, actually. This one is in great shape, but it's missing pages. There was like a cutout thing on the inside of it, and so there's sections of pages missing. So, but you know, if you're lucky enough, you can find ungraded ones for a decent price. And when I mean decent price, they probably run you between 30 and 60 bucks. That's my limit, because I want to slab them myself, not because I'm looking to sell them, but because I want to hold them in the condition that they're already in. That's definitely the benefit for me for the CGC grading, is just sealing it, airtight sealing it, so it stays in the condition it's in, especially when it's as old as it is. I know a lot of people have a problem with CGC grading, the pricing, the timing of getting it back, blah, 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 blah. Well, I live 20 minutes from the headquarters, so I can drive down there and drop some stuff off and just bide my time until they get it back to me. You know, it's not an issue for me, because I'll do a group at a time. And I know that takes time, but some people will mail off a comic and expect it to be back in 2 weeks because it's just one comic. But that's not the way it works. They have a backlog for sure. All right, let's get back down here. Oh, I actually need to put this back on the shelf. Let's see here. Okay. Let's put this back on the shelf. Watch me break my neck. Whoa. Now this top shelf typically only has like 4 boxes on there, but I had to take off a couple of my specialty boxes. So I've got I collect so many different specialty comics that I have little stashes everywhere. Like these are my, let me show you here. I collect mini comics just about in any form, just little mini sized comics. Here's one of my best collections ever that I've done. Is, I don't know if a lot of people might recognize the fact that the He-Man toys back from the 80s used to come with these little mini comics in the back of them. The original toys did. And, you know, once again, just like those Superman Tim comics, a kid gets a little booklet with his toy, it gets thrown away. So I never held on to them. But it took me a couple years. And I did all this mounting and imagery and stuff myself. But I found every single book, including the super rare ones that came with play sets. Where'd it go? Here it is. The Ultimate Battleground. That is one of the hardest to find because it came with this giant play set that not a lot of parents could afford at the time. So the scarcity of them is up there. You can't find a lot of this stuff. So there were quite a few. Like this came out during the movie. There's Gwildor. But nobody started collecting those movie toys because they didn't look like the original He-Man toys. So some of these are really scarce and hard to find. And then there's others that are just in abundance that you can just buy a whole bunch of them for like 20 bucks. So I wish I could have bought all of these like that, but I had to save up and really hunt. These ones here, that look a little bit different. These are the originals compared to these. I don't know that you can tell, but these little thinner ones, like these guys down here. But the ones with the titles above the names, those are the original ones that came with He-Man and Skeletor and Teela, and I think maybe Merman was one of them. So, and then some of these came with the flying toy, or the not the flying toys, but necessarily, but the vehicles for the figures as well. And then one of my other complete collections that took me a little while to find was the Superpowers collection. Now I also, let me flip the camera. I also did the artwork for this as well, in the background back there. But this is the complete collection that came with all the toys as well. And as you could see, I divided it up because this is mostly, this is series 1 and then this is series 2. So I divided them up and changed up the colors and everything like that. But they got the heroes back there. I did a lot of photoshopping to get all this stuff together, but that's my other complete collection. Now, I do have, so after that He-Man series came out, they also did another He-Man cartoon called The Adventures of He-Man, or He-Man, The Adventures Continue, or something like that, where he was in space. It was like futuristic, and then the space, he had like a laser sword and stuff like that. And that cartoon bombed. Nobody really cared about that cartoon. But with the toys, it did produce, I think, four or five mini comics, which were super hard to find. Especially, I don't want to say they're super hard to find. You can find them in abundance. Can't find them in good condition. So I found a couple that were still in the wrappers, the original wrappers that they came in, and so I have that whole series. And then for my wife, I was collecting the She-Ra mini comics. Now there's 3 series of those mini She-Ra comics, and I have the first 2 series. Now the last 2 actually came with toys that you can't even find online anymore, and it was only 2 toys. The 3rd series was only 2 comics, and I'm pretty content right now with the fact that I found the 1st and 2nd series. I'll have to show you guys another time. I got a table in front of my closet door here where I keep all that, but I'm happy with that as it is, because those 2 toys themselves, being, once again, after demand had died down, they didn't sell so much, so there weren't so many out there in the public, and now they're hard to find, and let alone I can't find the comics anywhere. Now I do have this book. I have read the comics. I do have this book. Let me find it here. This collection of mini comics. This has every single mini comic that you see on the wall back there, plus the She-Ra ones, and I think even the futuristic He-Man ones I told you about. I gotta put this back. We're big He-Man fans in the house here. He-Man and She-Ra. So that's the mini comics. This is the complete guide to the cartoons. This one right here. And then this is all the newspaper comics in this book right here. That's all the newspaper comics collected in big, strangely shaped edition. So I'm not actually putting my comics away, am I? I'm just showing off my stuff. Look at all my stuff. All right. Oh, let me go back down, y'all. Oh. I'm feeling the caffeine from the coffee. Oh yeah. So I was talking about collecting like specialty comics, like 3D comics. Look at this. My brother got me this one. Oh, I think the cassette tape fell out. But it's this 3D Ninja Turtles comic that had a cassette tape, which is, it's in the box here, but I think it fell out. And then, look at this Rocketeer one, this classic Rocketeer. Look at those 3D glasses. That's still got, the. It's completely sealed. Look at that. That is awesome. I love that. But there was a company for a while that was just like taking regular comics and then remarketing them as 3D comics. And sometimes they would make their own stuff. Blackthorn Publishing was making 3D comics. Speaking of Astro City, here's a 3D Astro City comics. And then you've got this Star Wars reprint, which is pretty cool. Ghostbusters, Dick Tracy, Miracle Man, Wetworks. Who remembers Wetworks? Oh, here's one. California Raisins. How can you not have California Raisins, right? Of course. And then this one was supposed to be a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but this was Hamster Vice in 3D. Not quite what was that spinoff? What was it? Radioactive rodents of some sort. And so and then the oversized comics. This one's in German. This Superman comic's in German. A friend of mine brought me that. And then I have a bunch of miscellaneous just stuff here. First Jetsons comic. Like, I don't even know what to do with that. I got that from my grandma, believe it or not. She had a box of comics, of all things. Like, Grandma, you don't even collect comics. Where did these come from? And she left them to me when she died. So I don't know if it was one of those things where she thought she was holding on to them because they were going to be worth so much money, like baseball cards, right? But whatever. I appreciate the fact, and I'll always hold on to it. Came in the mail. You got Master of the Universe movie? That's amazing. That's awesome. Let's see here. Oh, so you were... I didn't realize you were here, Randy, when I was talking about how you got me this Ninja Turtles 3D book right here. Do you remember getting me that? I love that. Okay, now... Where are my other A's? Here's the other A's. Let's go back down here. Go back down here a little bit more. There we go. So we got the AZ, Azrael. And then Back to the Future. This was a giveaway, this Back to the Future. Not for sale. It says there in the corner. Grabbed it for $1. So that's pretty cool. A lot of times these promotional giveaways end up being worth something if you hold on to them long enough. I'm not even familiar with Harvey Comics, so I don't know what they do. They're probably just some independent publisher that got asked to do something for a quick promotion of sorts. All right, so Avengers. Here we go. Azrael, 65. This is 53. All right. I only have a couple Azrael books. Not super big into the character myself, so. Going to send you those WWE. Oh, for real? Oh, my dude, yes, I would love to have those. Those would be amazing. I mean, I would at least hold on to them for you because they're going to be in safe condition here. Dang. You know what? I feel like now I gotta let me move this table out of the way and get in the closet so I can show you guys the awesomeness of those other books. Let me move this table. Keep them in this goofy lockbox. I got this in a loot crate. But so let's see here. Let's start with the She-Ra ones first, because my brother did a major hookup on helping us find some of these books. So these two are technically the same book, but this one came in a Barbie magazine. So that's pretty cool. And then the other hard one to find is Fantastic Fashions. Now look at the prices on these. My brother found these for like $5 and upwards on some of them, but that's actually a really decent price to find these. And then this is, like I said, series 1 and 2 right here. Series 3, I'm not gonna say I'll never find them, but it's one of those niche things that you really, really, really have to look out for. Let me show you. These are the New Adventure, He-Man: The New Adventure. Like this one is still in its original wrapper. And then I have an unbagged one, which is in great condition. Look at those corners. There's 2. Now there's a new He-Man series that's out right now called Masters of the Multiverse, and they actually go to this universe. So it's the Dolph Lundgren He-Man from the movie, and like the pre-Skeletor Keldor from the animated show that came out in the early 2000s, and I think Orko, and they're traveling around to the different multiverses. They actually, the last comic I read, they went to the original animated universe, which was fun. And then you got these guys here. So they're all in great condition, all in fantastic condition. And then I have like some different ones. So these Mars Attacks ones, there's only 4 of them. Yeah, only 4 of them. And they say like 1 of 54. Where's it at? 1 of 54 in the corner up there. Right there. And so there was going to be like a new one, I don't know, every week, every couple weeks or something like that. But after 4, they canceled them. So this is basically the whole series right here. Let's see here. Oh, we've got these different ones. Leaf. You remember not the baseball card maker Leaf, but the candy maker Leaf. Started making these guys, and I still have like the candy still in the package with them. These guys right here. There's like a whole series of these. It goes deep, guys. And then Western Publishing started doing these back in the day, and these were produced for various different things. They were promotional items, I think, a lot of times. But it's these little mini comics, like Ripley's Believe It or Not, Grimm's Ghost Stories, The Twilight Zone, and then a couple Disney ones, Donald Duck, Mickey, and Uncle Scrooge. And then like some different, here's Star Trek, another Twilight Zone. These guys are actually hard to find. I was slowly working on a collection of these, but they end up being, they can be up to between $15 and $30, depending on, how people value their things, I guess, right? Let's see here. Yeah, the Mars Attacks books, Mars Attacks always had that vintagey sort of monster look. You know what I'm saying? Here's more of those candy ones with the candy in the back. Right there. What else do we got? Oh, Mask. Got the... Let's see here. I had 2 and 3. Let's see here. Where's it at? I'm missing one. Is this it? Here we go. Mask, the cartoon from the 80s. So all 3 mini comics right there. And those are in really good shape too, but this paper is very rigid, so the binding is strange. See how it's kind of feathering off right here? The binding is kind of strange. I don't know if they used like a glue or something like that. It almost looks like a thread, which is strange for something like this. Oh, and then I have a bunch of doubles. I have a bunch of doubles, like my green lantern superpowers. Already got one up there on the mounted on the wall. And then all of my other doubles that I plan on maybe eBaying, the He-Man Adventures, some more Princess She-Ra ones, the original He-Man ones. And these were like ones that were like bought in bulk, and they just happen to be doubles, extras, if you will. So anyway, there's a diversion for you. I am not getting done today what I had planned on getting done today, but that's okay. I just like the fact that people are actually engaging. Let's see here. Alright, so we'll put these away and get back to doing what I was doing. How do they not all fit in there now? What? How do they? All right, there's that. They fit somehow. That's all that matters. All right. Okay. So once again, putting books away. Now I feel like this whole box here is just going to get transitioned into a Batman box. I think that is what's going to happen. Let's do this. So Batman starts here. Okay, these are the only non-Batman books. Yeah, this is definitely going to get transitioned into just a Batman box. Well, let's see what's back here. Batman, yeah. It's all Batman. But I have to organize, I have to weed them in together through Detective Comics. Because once again, that goes along with my backwards or unusual alphabetizing, is that I have my Detective Comics books under the Batman organization within the boxes. So it makes sense to me, and I guess that's all that matters, right? Go somewhere before Batman and put in this Back to the Future book. Azrael, Bad Rock. Alright. What is this? Aztec. Basket full of heads. And go right before Batman. Alright. So now I got to start making some room in here and putting some in here. Because my Batman comics come all the way up here to like the first quarter of this box. And that's all Batman all the way back. And then I've got this full box, 3/4 full box over here too, full of Batman stuff. Alright, so I guess we want to start with the new Batman series, the latest Batman series, which was coming out every other week. So the last issue of Batman that I actually put away was issue 44. Yeah. 43 was the last one I actually put away. 44 is the next one in the list. But Batman 90 just came out. So 50 issues of Batman at every other week. So it's been over a year. No, it's been half a year, I guess, since I put the Batmans away. Like, this is the same book, just two different covers. Everybody knows Batman and Catwoman were supposed to get married, and then they didn't. And I think that really put a sour taste in everybody's mouth for Tom King. So, Whatever, I still think he's a pretty decent writer myself. Alright, I just gotta make room here. And then find the new series. Up here. Here we go, right here. Just start throwing them in there. D8. What is this? 58. What I just put in there. 63, 64, okay. And then now I gotta make more room. Good God. It's alright. All of this stuff will end up in this box eventually anyway. We're up to 81. These covers were cool, these lenticular covers. Was this the lenticular? The City of Heroes ones. I don't think this was the lenticular. Oh, it was. So, okay. So, you got Bane, the City of Bane storyline going on here. And he's looking like a badass. And then you flip the cover over, and there's Batman on him instead, getting ready to take him down. It's not Batman. It's actually Batman's dad. See him pulling the strings. It's a big storyline reveal there. Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint universe was Batman. A very not by the books Batman. I just bent that one. You should buy the plastic boxes. Okay. Alright. And so that's the end of that. Straight up to issue 88. I took out 89 and 90 because those are prime issues right now. I got those set aside. Okay, now we got to move on to the new Detective Comics. So those are going to probably be back here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's Detective Comics right there. I always put the new collection before the old collection. I don't really put them in timeline order. I put them in the most recent as to when I've collected them. As far as individual series go, like with Detective Comics. Alright. So, see how long it's been since I put these away. $9.79 is my next one. And the last issue that came out was what, 1,000 something? Shoot. We got 1,019. 1,020. 1,020 was the last one I got. So that's 41 comics. It's been that long. 41 comics since I organized all these away. Yeah, this is work. This, I've been. I don't know why I waited so long to organize all of this because I've got these, I've got those, I've got more over here. This is just the B's. I've got all the way straight up to the X's with a couple X-Men comics. So I've got a long ways to go actually. But I've got nothing but time on my hands now. Let's see here. Let's see how many fit in here. Looks like, I don't know, Detective Comics might just fill out the rest of this. Let's do that. I love this Bruce Timm comic. It's based off of a classic cover, but the Bruce Timm, I love Bruce Timm's art, just in general. And I think that was the only version of that I got. Yeah, it was. And that was back in May, so it has been a while since I put some of this away. Alright, so now we've got some older Detective Comics and then some miscellaneous like series, and we've got Batman Beyond, forgot about that. So this looks like some of the old Batman series here, which I had here, which I have here. So that makes sense. Organize all this together. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, my knees can't handle sitting like this. Alright. So. Let's go and collect these other old Batmans. Okay, so I think that's it for those. Alright. 72, 57, 72. Oh, doubles there. 78. Straight up to 625. I guess those are Detective Comics now. Well, I guess maybe they're kind of all intertwined here. Yeah, it looks like it. Those, dang it. See, that's again, when you buy online and people send you, they double package the things. I hate that. Let me find some bags of boards over here. Oh. Actually, Oh, they sent them like this because it was a mini series, the Mud Pack. Back when these comics cost $1. You remember those days? This Teflon feeling tape. Tape gets so old that it feels almost rubbery. So okay. So that's more Detective Comics. Here, Detective Comics. Detective Comics. But we've got like the miscellaneous ones. Starts of a mini series. That I just got at random somewhere. So this is New 52. That's Detective Comics, Dark Knight. I knew I had this one. Just now it's number 3. Like that's kind of a classic cover right there. And Batman hanging from the belfry. I think it was the bell. No, it's just an open window, but it always reminded me of a bat in the belfry situation. So that's pretty cool looking. The bags that people used to store these books in, it just sometimes makes me wonder, like, what were they doing? And they're only still in those bags because it's stuff that I bought at like a garage sale and just kind of put in the collection. Didn't really bother. Didn't really bother rebagging and boarding them, you know. Let's see here. Restart my chat here. Kind of froze up on me. There we go. So, 4 of you guys watching right now, thanks for hanging out. Really, 5 of you, I really appreciate it. Just going through and organizing all my comics because, like I said, obviously no new comics coming in, so I might as well sit here and organize the ones that I have just been piling up on, you know. I've got this box here, I've got those 2 boxes here, I've got 2 boxes behind me here that it's been like a year since I integrated all of that stuff into my shelves behind me. So I'm slowly working my way down from A to Z. That's how I have it alphabetized here, and we'll see. We'll see how long that takes. Okay. So Batman Rebirth, and we got these Batman up here. Batman. Now why do I have these separate? Are these ones that just were like randos that needed to be organized? I don't know. This was one of my first comics I ever Does anybody remember this book where Jason Todd might have thrown a guy from a balcony? Maybe, wink wink, he fell. Because he was abusing his girlfriend or something like that. Jason Todd had his morals, as shifty as they might have been. Alright. Batman Zero. Batman No Man's Land, Ground Zero. This is the Cassandra Cain that I was kind of hoping would have been in the Birds of Prey movie. This girl right here who doesn't speak and is a complete badass. Not a smart mouth little gangster from the street. But whatever. I still enjoyed that movie though. They completely jacked up Black Mask. If he wasn't Black Mask, if he wasn't Roman Sionis, if he was just some other gangster, I would have totally been down with the character. But for the fact that they put that character's name on the main villain, it took me out of it until he put on the mask. Now, I'm not going to give anything away, but Roman Sionis and Black Mask were considerably two separate people. One being one personality without the mask and one being with the mask. And I had a hard time buying it, but the character itself would have made, if it wasn't Roman Sionis, would have made an amazing villain, just almost kind of psychopathic in a way. And don't even get me started about Victor Zsasz. That was awful. But if you take those villains aside, the movie was actually really good. It's a good Harley Quinn movie. And Black Canary. It's a good Black Canary movie. They did those characters really well. Huntress, I think they nailed Huntress spot on for her character and story background and everything like that. The classic Huntress that everybody knows. And then, what are you going to do with Montoya? She's a female Latino cop. Couldn't really mess that up, right? And then you got Cassandra Cain, who is not her character at all. So, but that Cassandra Cain that out of the comic books would require a whole lot of extensive storytelling and background situation. So I understand why they didn't do the character like that. Jason was a little punk. Jason was a little punk. And then, let me show you guys this. So this is interesting, right? This is another little, let's see here if I have it. Little something that I collect as well. So this was one of the first comic. This actually came with that Jason Todd comic. One of the first comics I ever collected. This has been this way, bagged and boarded like this, because I was like 12. I was like 11 or 12. And it came in a pack. One of those packs you used to get from the gas station for like $1. It would have like 3 comics in it. And I took the bag that it all came in, and it had like a backer board that had like, 3 comics for $1 up here, right? And I trimmed it off and made my own backing board. But you can kind of see the original backing board there. But this was my first bag and board right here, and it was just made out of trash. But I've held on to this. And this has turned up to be something of a collector's item because it's a Todd McFarlane cover. So that's pretty cool. But this will always remain like this. just because. Total cover price. The cover price was $2.50 or more. Look at that. For the 3 comics. So it was probably $1 comic. 75-cent comic. So there was probably a couple dollar comics in there with a 75-cent comic, making it more than $2.50. So you're getting a real deal on that one, right? I kind of miss those because if they still had those today, I think they actually have them at Walmart. But if they still had those today at the gas station, I would pick them up. by today's standard, they'd probably be like $5, but I'd be like, heck yeah, I'll pick these up for $5. But that also goes back to the old newsstand days. Like, when's the last time you went to a bookstore and they just had like loose comic books hanging out on a spinner rack that you could just pick up? Like, that's not a thing anymore. That days gone by for sure. Okay. Let's go get more coffee. What do you think? You hear that? Sounds like the sound of new coffee is needed. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see here. My chat on my screen froze, so weird. Streamlabs takes up a lot of data back and forth, so the Wi-Fi might be a little jittery, especially since I'm in the farthest back room of the house. But it is what it is. I don't know how much longer I'll be streaming. I'm gonna hang out for a while, but if anything, I'll probably do more streaming tomorrow as well. So, actually, for the first time in a couple days, fixed up my mustache for you folks. I might go on Facebook Live too. I didn't think about that. I might go on Facebook Live because I know not a lot of people are like following the links that we put on Facebook to follow us here to the YouTube. But I just like engaging with people. So I might rotate back and forth. We'll see. Got the refuel. All right. Anybody want to say hi to Sirius? Sirius, say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. No? He's pouty. He's pouty today. He's not putting up with your BS, people. Just so you know. Doesn't put up with my BS either. Right. I gotta remember to plug my phone back in, because streaming destroys the battery. Boom, there it goes. No, I did make a Joffrey's cold brew, though. It's in the fridge. I did make a fresh batch, but this is just regular. Actually, the flavored coffee from Target is legit. No doubt about it. But I've been holding on to my cold brew. Just because I don't want to just go right through it. And especially since I probably won't be buying any new cold brew for a little while either. Okay, let's bring this back down, y'all. Okay. So, again, I need to make more room for these Batman comics. Let's organize these, put them in the stack. We have... Oh, so, was it this one? Yeah, so this is an interesting one. This one flies under the radar. This is the first mention of Arkham. But it wasn't Arkham Asylum, it was Arkham Hospital. Which is, I know, weird. But that's actually kind of a key comic. The first mention of Arkham in the Batman lore. Because it's such a pinnacle thing now. And let's see here. One, 498. This is 178, issue 178. That's interesting. 442. Oh, speaking of Jason, this is called A Lonely Place for Dying because, you know, he got beat to death by Joker with a crowbar. This is the last part of the series. It was a 5-part series, but so let's see here, 442. 36. Here we go. Okay, so let's go down here. Yeah, 498. All right. That for those early ones. Let's see. Batman 1 million. The Batman from the future. Got a couple of those. We got Legends of the Dark Knight. Look at that Alex Ross cover. That's a cool one. It's and at the bottom there, it's Batman swearing in Dick Grayson to be Robin. That's a really cool one right there. That's a good Alex Ross cover. You know what you know what a series that not a lot of people paid attention to that I really loved though was the animated Batman, the Batman Adventures, and Ninja Turtles crossover. Like look at this Harley cover. I like that. The art style on this, Sam Ravina, or Samariva is his name. I follow him on Instagram. He draws a lot of fun stuff. I like that. I like that cover too. So that's also the thing with DC Comics lately is they have been upping the game on their covers. You know, they've been treating them a lot like the Virgin art covers where it's just the art and very minimal print. So they're not quite Virgin art covers, but they're like super minimal print on them. And so I really like those. Like okay. Sorry, my phone was ringing. Let me find a good one. The Catwoman covers have been really amazing lately too, but like, check out this Batman cover. Like, it's nothing but artwork. You know what I'm saying? But it's not Virgin because it's still got the logo, still got the barcode. But that is legit. Alright, so let me find a place to put this. I feel like I have more classic Batman comics in here, or it's probably in the next box, to tell you the truth. Oh, here we go. Back here. Here they are. This was a gimmick for a little while. They did the same thing with Spider-Man comics. but you can't really tell what's on that unless you like reflect the light properly. But it's Batman 515. There we go. Maybe you can kind of see. There you go. You kind of see the Batman posed on there. I don't know. All right, let's see here. All right, hang tight. I will be right back. Is Jason Todd the Robin fans voted to kill off? Yes, he is. He is the Robin that they voted for him to die. Alright, sorry. Sounded like somebody was lingering around my front door. Bum, bum, bum. Imagine hating a character so much that you actually voted to kill them. Like, I think they made Jason Todd be such a jerk in order to put out that vote so that they could kill the character off, so they could find a purpose for killing the character off. And they're like, wow, he got beat to death with a crowbar. And then DC Comics is like, yeah, but the fans wanted that. They wanted him to die. This has always been one of my favorite covers as well. Batman gonna cut you, fool. Alright. Some of these covers are just so far out of, like, if you don't understand what the storyline is going on, like, this guy's head is exploding. Like, what is going on there? That's a Batman cover. Okay. Oh, and this is the storyline that they picked up after the death of Jason Todd. That's exactly where that went. 442, 443. Alright. 414. Oh, so, oh my god, okay. So, with the cover I just... like this... coming back across these two different comics, one right after each other. Let me show you. So you got this comic here, right? And then right after it, I came across this one here, where it looks like he's about to stab this woman. That's... You can tell it's been a while since I looked at these books. Okay. So 515, 524. Alright, is that it for the old Batman? The old Batman books. I wonder if that other box up there, I guarantee you, has more Batman books, man. Dang. Okay. So this is going to require some reorganization in itself. I think this box here is going to have to start out as Batman, but just solely Batman. Just the blank Batman title. Not Detective Comics, not mini-series, not Legends of the Dark Knight, just straight up Batman books. And then we can move on from there. New 52 Batman. Okay. I guarantee, because I know I have more classic Batman, and I guarantee you it's up in a box. It's still up there. All right, this is really gonna get messy. Okay. Dang. Wait. What do I got back here? Those are all Detective Comics back there. Okay. So now I gotta go get this end box here. Let me open it first and make sure it is what it is. Yep. Of course. But this looks like it's a bunch of Batman Beyond and Batman miniseries and stuff like that. So, okay, that actually makes it a bit easier. Okay. So we're going to utilize these boxes for what we thought we were going to utilize them for before. I never thought I'd have like freaking 3 boxes full of Batman comics alone. But he is better than Superman, so that's why I have him. Okay, Batman. These are okay. So this is getting into the mini. Here's Detective Comics. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make this Batman into Detective Comics, and then continue Detective Comics and other miniseries on through here. That's the smart way to go about it, I think. So I'll tell you what, I'll continue streaming until I get through all of these books here, and then tomorrow I'll continue on to the next shelf. What do you think about that? Let's hang out for a little while here. Bum, bum. Okay. So... these were poignant covers or poignant books for a while too. Sword of Azrael. This was kind of the introduction to Azrael, leading up into becoming the Batman when Bane broke his back. You know, enough of a important book that they started making like the silver editions of them as well. But I mean, you can probably buy the whole series for maybe $12 now, which is about typical cover price for a new comic nowadays. These were $1.75 a piece. So, yeah, whatever. That's you know, it is like baseball cards almost. Like a lot of the stuff is on a roller coaster, like stock market sort of situation. Like certain things could affect other things as well. Like a comic that was actually worth something could get debunked because that character is not actually dead instead, or that wasn't really the first appearance of that character. Like the first appearance of Domino in, what was it, X-Force? Ended up not being the first appearance of Domino, and then she didn't actually like really appear until later on. It was a character called Copycat appearing as her, and so the price shift went from one comic to the other comic. But that's part of the fun of collecting, I guess, right? Isn't that why we collect things? Just out of the excitement of what you might get. So these are Detective Comics here. Detective, Batman. I don't know what this is. This is a Batman and Poison Ivy book. I'll have to show this to my wife. I don't remember getting this. It might have been in like a group of things that I got, but this is in great condition. It's kind of in a graphic novel form as well. But my wife loves Poison Ivy. Batman Poison Ivy Cast Shadows, 2004. I don't know how long I've had this. I'll set this to the side. Let my wife put it in her collection. Maybe she'll want to read that. All right, Batman '88. And then all these Detective Comics. Like, I think I'm just gonna take them all and start putting them here because I don't know. I don't need all of that room though. Dang it. Let's just move them here for now. I might have to move them back later. All right. This new Facebook, I don't like it. Have you got the option to have the new Facebook layout yet? I'm not a fan. Okay, let's see here. All right. So I know I have more classic Batman than this meager stack right here. Whatever. Anything blankly titled Batman is going to go in here. And I know I have more than these New 52. Oh, I do, but they're Court of Owl books. For those, if you don't know, Court of Owls in the Batman lore is one of my favorite things ever. Actually, I have a mask up here. Court of Owls mask. It's like a secret cult in the Batman universe. Look at that creepy ass mask right there. Court of Owls. I freaking love it. So the only New 52 books of the Batman series that I actually have are the first appearance of the Court of Owls. They're sitting in my box of key books over here, which I'll have to show. Maybe I'll show at a later point in time on a different stream the key books that I have waiting to be graded. But yeah. So I knew I wasn't wrong. I knew I had more books than I thought I did. These are all detective. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to utilize all this space. I was going to leave this gap here in this because I know I'm going to be collecting more Batman books, but I think I need to start my Detective Comics in here but leave a little bit of a gap because I'm going to have to utilize all this space. How did I end up with more comics down here that were in these two boxes than I have room for now? What did I do? What did I do here? Okay. Let's, I guess, start moving these back over here. I guess. Start moving the new ones in. Stop sliding. Alright, we'll go all the way up to 1,000. Detective Comics 1,000. Where's it at? It's going to be this thick one right here. I think I got the Jock cover. Jock is a super underrated artist. He's English. I can't remember his real name. But yeah, variant cover by Jock. I love his artwork. for those of you who have never seen the movie The Losers, that came out with, what's his name, who played Negan in Walking Dead. It had Chris Evans. It had Idris Elba. I think it was the first Idris Elba movie I ever saw. And I love that guy as an actor now. But anyway, Jock helped create those characters because it's based off of one of his comic books. And ever since then, I mean, his art is kind of scribbly, kind of rough, kind of heavy inky. But I don't know. Maybe it's an acquired taste, but I really find his stuff fascinating. Can we see you wear the mask and nothing else? I'll send you a private DM, Dave. How about that? Would that be okay with you? All right. Oh, I did get 2. I thought Bruce Timm was the only one I got. I love the Bruce Timm cover as well. It's based off of a classic one, but it's also so very Bruce Timm, especially if you watched the animated series when they would have those little kind of title cards at the beginning, and it would always have like Batman in a spotlight or something like that. That's super Bruce Timm imagery right there. So I dig it. And then after that, they started introducing the Arkham Knight. I don't know if you guys have played the Batman Arkham video games. The Arkham Knight is not the same character that it is in the comic or in the video game. The comic one, same armor and everything, completely different character. So that really kind of threw me for a loop, because the person who is the Arkham Knight in the Arkham Batman games is a different character already in the comic books. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Alright, so then we continue on here with Detective Comics. Detective Comics 1020. Alright. So then, like I said, the most current series I've been reading are the ones that are up front. And then the older series of the same title get pushed to the back. So now I have to start going through and organizing these. Look at this. Oh, this is an old Batman and Robin book. Wow. 15-cent cover. This is in rough shape. I wonder why I grabbed this one. But look at this. The Man Who Saw with His Fingers. The sort of stories that they used to have back in the day. You know? $5. Where did I get this? Where did I get this? I feel like it wasn't $5 and I got it at a garage sale or something. But it's a newsstand because they used to stamp the dates on the covers, which is a pain in the ass. Also, this has some marker down here as well. So, at one point in time, in a better condition, this book might have actually held some value. But whatever, it is what it is now. But I think this is part of the original Batman series. Just like this one, Batman and Batgirl. Oh, the Detective Comics. So this is Batman and Batgirl, but it's Detective Comics. This is just Batman and Robin. But I think this was part of the original Batman series. So it's going to go in this box here. Okay, there we go. And then Detective Comics, $4.15. I guess this was before they had barcodes. They used to put these numbers under the prices down here. Hope he doesn't help wipe with that hand. Yeah. It took me a second to realize what you were talking about, but yeah, the man who sees with his fingers. Heaven help that man. God dang it. It's another one that... Where did this come from? I don't know. Alright, let's bag and board it. Batman Eternal is actually a good series. And it's kind of a limited run too, so if anybody was looking to find a Batman series that they could have a complete collection of, that's a good one to have. I think it was only like 20 issues or something like that. But alright, Batman Eternal. Oh, Professor Pig. That guy's a creepy dude right there, Professor Pig. He's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of situation almost. Look at these old ones I have. Death Mask. That's a cool cover. 20-cent cover. Look at that. That one is old. And then dipping them in wax. Remember when that's kind of like a horror trope now, kind of a trope of sorts, dipping a person in wax to kill them or confine them. God bless Vincent Price. Detective Comics 27. So I think this is going to be the beginning of our old Detective Comics. Start here. And then I know that I have some back here. Legends of the Dark Knight. I was never a huge fan of the Legends of the Dark Knight ones because they would tend to get a little bit too dark sometimes, and it was like very... I mean, I guess that's why they called it Legends, because it wasn't exactly considered canon, but... I don't know, like, him out there fighting monsters, it almost looks like aliens, you know? But... Oh, and this is a great mini-series right here. See, here's some new 52 Batman that I have. The Gates of Gotham. It's a misleading book, but it's about a family called the Gates of Gotham. But the Gates of Gotham are also what they refer to as the bridges on Gotham that come from the mainland. The secret history of Gotham begins here. This is a super interesting tell. It's one thing where you think that the gates of Gotham are going to get blown up, the bridges of Gotham are going to get blown up, but then it refers later on to a family that was the Gates, and they lived in Gotham. Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. So here's my new 52 books. So I got, I thought I had all three covers. These were black bags. So these books would come in these bags, these black blind bags. You didn't know what you were getting until you unbagged it, and then it had a few different covers. So these covers were all done by Alex Ross. Here's the sketch cover, and then here's like the inked cover. But this is all a variation of a classic cover that he did. Let me show you. Let's make sure that I don't have the other one in here. Let me show you. So it's actually a play on images of a comic that he did back in the day when he did the cover for the first introduction of Harley Quinn into the actual comic series. So there's this book here where Joker and Harley are dancing, right? And so then this is like Batman sneaking up on them. Now there's a one-off that really flies under the radar of people. There used to be this magazine called Wizard Magazine, And there's like an aftermath of that that was actually done before this. So this is kind of like the in-between piece. And I know I'm deep diving here. But I like how over the years he's continued a sequence of those books, just happens to be out of order. But yeah, so there's the sketch and then the ink. And then there's a final version as well, full color version that I know I have somewhere. It might be in my key books, or I don't think I got it graded yet. Might be in waiting to get graded. So anyway, there's that. Let's put these with the Batmans. And then these are a couple of the origins of Court of Owls that I was telling you guys about. Interesting. Ah, see? There's some more older Batmans. Dang it, see, I knew it. But they were... Alright, so I'm not done in that box yet. Dang it. I knew I had more. I said I had more. Push these back here. This is... Alright, so that's all the Detective Comics. Then we got the New 52 Batmans. The Batmans go here. Alright. Now then. Looks like my old Batmans are also mixed up with some Detective Comics books. We'll sort those out. All right. Okay. It is a dangerous game we play, right? It's dangerous to my wallet. I mean, that's what this has been. Dangerous to my wallet. I can only imagine what's going to happen when comic book shops start opening back up. They're going to get an influx of things it's not going to be helpful to anybody. That means 700. I think we can safely say it'll go before 1 million. And then 28. Batman Annual 28. Let's stick that before 1 million as well. There we go. 60, 61, 62. 326 up here. All right. So, I think for now, that's all the classic organizing your collection is, like an adult version of a kid playing with their toys. You know, that was, you're absolutely right, because that was always like, we always organized our toys in different ways, didn't we? Always found new ways that we wanted to have them situated. So I have to have my YouTube open to see the comments. So I'm sorry if I'm replying late, because on my actual screen here that I'm streaming from, the last comment that was made, Randy, was when you talked about the Mars Attacks artwork. That's the last one that popped up for some reason. So let's see here. All right. Now to organize all of these old Detective Comics. I think I have more of those than anything. Dark Knight Return. Ah, more classic Batman. Dang it. I mean, good. I'm glad I found it. Just gonna put that together. Oh, I think this is... Oh, this is all together. I know why this is all together. Uh-huh. I'll explain in a second. Boom. Okay, yeah, all right. So all of these together is the entire Nightfall series. From the prequel issue, which a lot of people don't realize that's what that is. These two are kind of prequel issues. And then you start with number 1. See, it's a full bat. But then by the time you get later on into the books, between the series, it starts filling in more. Until eventually it gets completely full, and then you've just got the full bat. So that's why these are together. And I think I'm going to keep these together, but they're going to kind of... I'm going to put them in with like the mini series. Because that is a complete collection right there. And then Shadow of the Bat number 1. This actually flies under the radar a little bit too. This is the first appearance of Mr. Zsasz, of Victor Zsasz. So if you get a chance, pick these up. You can find them for relatively cheap now. But you know what? I want to look. I want to open this up and see what his first appearance looked like. Oh man, it came out around the time of Batman Returns. Look at that. Michael Keaton and this Batman. So what was that, 1991 or 1992? You know, it's the first appearance of Zsasz, but it is probably like a fleeting image. Doot. Well, he's not the main villain in the book, that's for sure. The main villain looks like to be a psychiatrist, a not Dr. Hugo Strange. Yeah, I didn't see him. It was probably just like a fleeting imagery. I mean, any one of these guys, these bald dudes look like they could be Zaz. They're just missing some tick marks on them. Anyway, Shadow of the Bat. That was also a series that I never got into. It was kind of along the same lines of Legends of the Dark Knight. Just stories that just didn't even really feel like they fit anywhere else. And so these are the same book. So 3 different covers here, right? Nope, 2 different covers here. You have what's the newsstand edition, because it's got, or this is called the direct edition. It doesn't have a UPC down here. So if people had like subscription orders that like DC used to deliver like through mail, you could have a subscription to DC Comics and they would send you this, and in lieu of the UPC, they would have the symbol down here. You'll see that on a lot of those old comics from the 80s and 90s. And then the what they called the newsstand edition was this shiny dude right here, showing Bruce Wayne back as Batman after the whole Nightfall series. It went through Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End, I think. So, and then you guys remember the Max? The Max. It used to be on MTV. It was done by what's his name? His last name is Keith. Never a big fan of his art, but he would draw some interesting stuff. That's his cover of a Batman comic during the Nightfall series. These are kind of my doubles. So that's Detective Comics. This is Batman. This is the second print, but this is the Breaking of the Bat. I think everybody has one of these in their collection, kind of like the Death of Superman, you know? Everyone gets one. That was around the time when I started collecting comics. Dark Knight, Dark Knight. Detective Comics, Detective Comics. Legends of the Dark Knight. This was an annual, and it's actually an Elseworlds. Elseworlds were like different alternate realities. Look at this one. Like, what is that? Oh, that's right. You did get that issue when Batman broke his back. I told you you had to pick it up because if you collect any comics, you got to have one of those in your collection. Got to have one. Legends of the Dark Knight. Here we go. Arkham City, based around the video game of the same name. Pretty good book. The artwork in it is pretty spot on too. I can't remember who did the artwork. But this was written by Paul Dini, who created Harley Quinn. Him and Bruce Timm came up with the whole Harley Quinn thing. And so Paul Dini, I think for that alone, has been given the status of legendary writer. You know, but I think he actually wrote. Didn't Paul Dini write the video game storyline as well? So that might be why he wrote this book, or you know. Okay, I'm just creating more and more piles and not actually getting anything put away. So, Detective Comics over here. Oh wait, what is this? Okay, more Detective Comics. Batman Day. Batman Day was a few years ago. It was for his 75th anniversary, Batman Day. So that was 6 years ago, maybe? Quite possibly. Here's another Elseworlds. This futuristic Batman. Robot Batman. Detective Comics. Batman Days is going to be one of those one-offs. Look at this. I need to bag and board this. This is an OnStar free promo. Remember I was talking about the Back to the Future one earlier? These free promos actually end up becoming collectibles. It's like 3 pages total. But the Riddler stole the Batmobile. So that's the thing. The Riddler stole the Batmobile. And he had to use his OnStar to find the Batmobile. Because Batman doesn't have his own tracking GPS technology at all. He had to use OnStar. Oh yeah, those Superman comics. Those Superman comics still hold a special place in my heart. The Reborn Superman ones. How can Batman beat the Riddler using OnStar? Man, talk about placement. Gosh. All right. More Detective Comics, Detective Comics, Detective Comics. Batman the Return. So for a while, Batman got transported through time. And he was incorporating like different bodies through time. And it was a whole convoluted story. I can't even explain it to you because I don't think I can get it all myself. Alright, so we got more mini-series over here. Oh, my knees, man. My knees. Oh, jeez. Okay. Coffee, 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 coffee. Don't spill the coffee. No, I get it that you guys, the police force would use OnStar for tracking cards like that. I'm just making fun of the fact that Batman himself, with all this advanced technology of even the Batmobile even existing, he didn't have his own tracking technology. He used OnStar, an outside corporation that could track where his Batmobile was located, finding him in the Batcave. You know what I'm saying? Like they could find him anywhere, including his secret hideout under his house. So it just feels strange. How do I want to close my chat, but I cannot. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. I wonder if he had an account using the name Bruce Wayne. That would make sense, right? That would make sense because if they tracked his car and it showed up at Wayne Manor, then yeah, okay. But then it would be like, he'd be like, when Riddler stole his vehicle, he'd be like, I need to track down Bruce Wayne's Batmobile. He's got a spare. Those other ones. I had other 500s, didn't I? I don't know. Okay. Some one-offs. Okay. We're making headway. It doesn't look like it, but we're making headway. Okay, so these are kind of going to go off to the side, and then we have to organize all these Detective Comics here. And this is going to take a little while because I have these old ones back here too. So this Mud Pack miniseries, can you imagine a group of Clayfaces? A group of people who had Clayface's ability? I think one person got it through a accidental blood transfusion. So, all right, hang tight. I will be back in one. Let's see here. I always wondered who installed all of the security cameras at Wayne Manor. Like, did he have a company sign a confidentiality agreement or something? Apparently, he's a technological whiz, or he had Lucius Fox do it for him. I bet it was Lucius Fox. He had somebody from Wayne Enterprises, head of development, probably Lucius or somebody in his crew. He probably had somebody like that do it. That would make sense. I don't know. I'll be right back. I have returned. Oh, my knee. Did you see that? My knee just like freaking gave out on me. Whew. All right. I'm like enclosing myself, losing all my space. Because I've got this stuff behind me here as well. So I just got this one little space right here. Now normally when I was organizing all of this stuff to put in these boxes in general, I had piles all over the floor, like alphabetically, so that I could alphabetically put them in these boxes. They're organized alphabetically in these boxes, but these boxes have to be integrated onto the shelves. Oh. If it wasn't for social distancing, I would have a friend over or something to be like, hey, I'll buy you some beer if you come and help me deal with this. All right. Looks like most of these are in alphabetical order. Look at this. What is this? It's amazing the comics that I accidentally grouped together. Like, geez. Morbid AF. Wow, okay. Batman was always a pimp. He was always kissing random girls and they were into it. I like these old ones. I always liked the older 80s Batman titles, whether it was Batman or Detective Comics. The older comics, like that Batman symbol right there, reminded me always. They started redoing this when the 60s Batman TV show came back out on TV on syndication, on reruns. They were like, you know what, let's do that title because it looks badass. And it does. And this is when I started collecting comics right here. That and the big block letters of Batman. Like this. The block letters like that. I love that logo. So simple. but the once again that Batman logo, it's just something about that era of Batman has always stuck in my heart. And like, look at this cover. Like it you don't see covers like this anymore. This like prints out details within the book because it's an individual story, and that's kind of what I used to like about these old books, was they'd be like individual stories, and maybe one of them might lead to the next issue, but then you'd have more like individual stories inside. Okay. So it looks like I got multiple eras all gathered together here. Just gonna have to start sorting numerically and dishing out like New 52. New 52 gets set aside. Detective Comic, let's see here. 663. 671. 556, 558. That'll go here. Then we got 515. Wait, didn't I say 568? 558, 568. 415. What did that Batmobile look like in comics then? Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see if it pops up. You know, the Batmobile wasn't always in every issue. This was an era. Actually, this was an era where they had him like swinging around the city more often, like Spider-Man. Man, these pages feel rough. Yeah, Robin on a regular motorcycle. So I bet you his car didn't look... I bet you the Batmobile didn't look that exciting. I bet you it looked pretty basic. Oh my god. Yeah, so... all this stuff is in this book for sure. There's Matches Malone. For those of you who don't know, Matches is Bruce Wayne in Gangster Hideout. Oh, I bet you it did look like the Superpowers Kenner one. Look at this. Look at how absurd that is. Batgirl fighting a serpent. That's pretty good. I bet I could look online, to tell you the truth. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's 1982. Let's see what the 1982 Batmobile looked like. Let's see if we could look that up. I got my computer right here. 1982 Batmobile. Batmobile. Let's see here. Comic book Batmobile. I feel like there's a website out there that actually like shows the different eras of the Batmobile. Let's look up different eras of Batmobile, yeah? Different eras of Batmobile. Here we go. The Batmobile over 75 years. But these are all, I think these are all TV ones. No. God. Dude, I just... I have to subscribe to this website. I hate these newspaper websites. Yes, I get it. You got to make your money somehow. I completely understand. All right. Ooh, here we go. These are all. Oh, you know what? I remember what it looked like. It looked like a Trans Am with like some wings on it, like just the basic block form of a Trans Am with like some like a Bel Air sort of wings on the side of it, sort of, but just kind of like more 80s fashionable, fancy looking. So there you go. That's what it was. Is that what the Superpowers Kenner one looks like? Kenner Batmobile. Kenner Batmobile. Let's see here. Oh, no, that one is actually fancier than the one. That's actually fancier than the one that was in the comics. I'm surprised I couldn't pull up an image. But think totally 80s, like totally late 70s, early 80s style sports car with bat wings on it. You know? Yeah. Yeah. The front some, yeah. These are mostly in order here. Let's see here. 670, 515. Okay, and then we've got, so that is 415, 437, 450. New 52 gets set aside. 604, 605, 606. 606. There we go. 702. So where does these fit in here? 558. There we go. And then 638, 663, 671. Here's another example of a direct edition mail order. No barcode there, just the DC Comics logo. People collect these. People specifically go looking after these with just like the DC Universe logo in it. You know, people find various ways to collect. I mean, you saw my mini comic collection. You saw my 3D comic collection. People find niche things that they just want to collect within the I don't know, collection platform, I guess you could say. Elseworld, let's see here. Annuals, 89, 660, 659. Alright, got some annuals here, then we got 611. I like this cover because you have to look hard, but if you notice, like if you think about a villain who has a cigar or cigarette extender that he smokes from and has a monocle in his eye, like you know who that is. So I dig that cover. They don't leave a whole lot to the imagination anymore when it comes to these covers. They don't. Granted, the artwork is phenomenal, but I don't think they include the dynamics like that. Like you have to really pay attention to what you're looking at. Maybe you can figure it out for yourself before cracking into it. $6.13, $6.16. Look at this cover. Like, what is going on here? Got a pentagram down here. You got Joker in this stupid costume. And then Batman's like tripping balls. Like he is out there. But what is happening? $6.16, $6.23, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. It totally is the Penguin, obviously. $6.17, $6.23, $6.24. So a lot of the imagery on this cover, like the art style, is classic with a lot of old Batman, but I never cared for the artwork of Dick Sprang. So, yep, totally get it. He's a classic Batman artist with that name. So, let's see here, 627. 24, 27, here we go. 38, boom, there's that. Alright. Those might be all the classic Detective Comics that I have, because it looks like the rest are just like one-offs. Batman Beyond. So this is a dollar comic. Like DC Comics has been doing, like taking old comics that people can't afford and reprinting them so that people can actually like have a copy, a tactile copy. Like I'm a tactile person. I need to have a physical copy that I like to have. You know what I'm saying? But this is the first appearance of Harley Quinn, but it's obviously it's a reprint. It's a dollar comic reprint. But you know, with that comic being anywhere between $300 to $500, depending if it's graded or not or whatever. Obviously, the collectability of that is very limited, or the affordability of that is very limited, I should say. So, yeah, they've been reprinting a lot of... Marvel Comics has been doing the same thing as well. So it's fun just to have a copy of that. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Your own dollar edition of Batman Adventures number 12. Just see, look at that. And then I have this other mini series, which is actually pretty fun. Let's see here. It's a lot of verses, a lot of. So this one here, for some reason I ended up with 2 copies of this. But it's Batgirl versus Riddler. And then this is Robin versus Ra's, but it's Damian. So it's grandfather versus grandson. It's Damian Wayne versus Ra's al Ghul. And you've got Hush and Nightwing. I think Hush is underutilized. And Harley versus Joker. And then the last one is Red Hood versus Anarchy. Now, obviously, Red Hood is Jason Todd. Jason Todd is not dead anymore. He is Red Hood. He's been that way for quite some time. But yeah, so that also goes back to Jason Todd, Red Hood, and the Arkham Knight, which I mentioned earlier. So put those things together. Okay. Yeah, stuff like this is good for display pieces. I actually have. I'll uncover it later on, but I actually have Marvel Comics' reprint. I think I sent you, Randy, a copy of that. It was a reprint, but it was still, cool to have, cool to look at. All right, so those are all of my Detective Comics, and then we start getting into Batman Beyond. One thing that I wish they would explore more often that they never did was the Justice League of the future. So you've got this young Zen Green Lantern. You've got the Atom. You've got a new Hawkman. Where's he at? Hawkman in the background. His name's Warhawk. You've got Amazonian. I don't think it's Wonder Woman. Could be Wonder Woman, but that's still same Superman too. So it might be Wonder Woman. There's a couple other characters as well. Oh, an Aqua female down there. I wish, and this is Batman Beyond Unlimited. I wish they would do more with Justice League Unlimited, which is what their name was. Untapped resource. Okay. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see here. Sorry, just making sure that my stream is staying up to date. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so then all of these Detective Comics are going to go in the background now. Then we got the New 52 Detective Comics. I only have a few of those. And then we've got miscellaneous ones, which will then we'll have to give into that other box up there. But I don't want to leave all this space here. I need to. But this would be a clean cut between Batman and Detective Comics. But I need to. You know what I'll do? Is I'll put my Nightfall series back here. And that'll still fill in some of this space because I still need to put all those comics somewhere. And then we'll put these right here as well. No, those will go with the miniseries with the other ones. Okay, so got these books here. This, I think, can finally go back up on the shelf. And then we can bring down the other Batman box. Let's do that. That other Batman box is really full, so, but I think I got enough room for everything. This is not that lid. There we go. All right. Oh, okay. Let's take this. I need to get some plywood up there. Help it slide easier. Oh, god dang, this box is loaded. Oh. Jeez. Holy moly. Get out of here. Go. Alright. see here. Yeah. I knew nobody, like, maybe tomorrow I'll do a Facebook Live stream instead. Because I knew nobody would really follow from Facebook over here to the YouTube. And I don't think enough people are getting notified on the YouTube that I'm live, or I'm too far down in their subscriptions for them to notice. So, but it's not a big deal. I'm cool with it. Okay, so Batman and Robin. So we got some the mini series here, Batman Predator. Oh, let's see here. Batman Robin, Batman Robin. Alright. I don't have any Batman and Robin, so I don't have to worry about that. These covers were cool back in the day. Where's it at? So these were... So the New 52 Joker was psychotic, and he literally cut his own face off, and then later wore it as a mask. He like strapped it to his head. So these covers, this is, and then you would peel away the mask, and there would be the title character underneath. They did this for all the comics. This was, see, there's him like applying his face back on. It's really creepy. But so the point was that this was a mask. And so a really messed up thing was that Harley had the face for a while. And she put it on Deadshot. She put it on him in order to like... She was looking to get laid, and I guess she couldn't not have sex with the Joker, so she put the Joker's face on Deadshot. So, there you go. Awesome. Next weekend we should video chat me organizing my toys while you organize comics. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, we should do that. We should do that next weekend. We should totally do that. I'm down to video chat with anybody. I'm just looking for some sort of contact. I've been in hibernation. Yeah, like Leatherface. Yeah. I've been in quarantine. The only person I've actually physically talked to is my wife. And so I don't want her to be the brunt of all the things I got to get out whenever she comes home. So I need to like stream more and talk more online. Like, how are you today? I missed you today. Blah, 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 blah. What did you do today? Why did you do this? She just gets home from work. She doesn't want to have to listen to all the things I'm spewing out. All right. So... Oh, God dang it. Stay still. How do I get my... Sorry. How do I hide my chat? Dang it. Maybe I can't. All right. Well, let's find out where... we're past it here. Okay, so that is the end of Batman there. So I might be able to make this whole box Batman. That would be a... No, I don't think I'm going to have enough room still. Some Bill and Ted. These comics from... This is a dollar comic, so it's definitely from like the late 80s, maybe 89 to 91, somewhere around there. But then not that long ago, Boom Comics did a Bill and Ted series too, which I think was actually supposed to kind of be like a third movie. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to that third movie for sure. Okay, so all the Batman Beyond is up here. I wonder. I don't think we have enough room for everything, but we can definitely make room. I just have to determine what series is what. Batman Beyond. Robin. Batman Beyond. Right here. So there's been a number of Batman Beyond series, but they never like changed the logo, so it's hard to tell what year it came from. Oh, you did send me that. That's right, that Bill and Ted. You did send me that. I forgot about that. Alright. So I think I just need to pull out the Batman Beyonds and just like go through them. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, come on. This series here, but that's Batman Beyond Unlimited, so 2010 this series came out. 2010 that series came out, man. It's been a while. And then the way you can tell the era of different DC Comics by, even if they don't change the logo of the title itself, is the logo of the company itself. This logo doesn't look like this anymore, and it was only done during a certain era. Much like this is kind of the logo now. You know what I'm saying? Very, very simple and plain. And then that's the classic one everybody remembers. You know? When I go helping out at my friend's comic book shop, I don't know anything about all the different like Captain America series, but I can always tell by the different cover designs that they use, which year it came out or whatever. Let's see here. Alright, so I guess Batman Beyond Universe will probably go in the back. Oh wait, they had Batman Beyond Unlimited and Batman Beyond Universe. Wow. I didn't realize that. Did you ever watch the Batman Unlimited or the Batman animated series movie Mask of the Phantasm? They did a sequel within the Batman Beyond comics later on called Mark of the Phantasm. Let's see here. Free comic book day. I have number 1 hanging up on my wall, but I have this Batman 66 and Green Hornet series. It's pretty fun because they were both out at the same time. I don't know, do you remember they did a crossover TV, like a couple of TV episodes? Yeah, the toy did spoil who the Phantasm was. Wasn't that BS? That was like the first time we ever really experienced that. Toy spoilers. Now it's like a thing you have to avoid. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it did get recalled. Okay, so obviously we're past Batman Universe. Okay, so go back here to Batman Beyond. And that's 18, and 19 is the next one in my box. So that's the series I'm looking for right there. So 19, I see like issue 38 up here. It's been a while since I put these away. This Batman Beyond series is really good though. The Joker was alive, and it wasn't like in the cartoon where the Joker was alive, but the Joker is alive and an old man. They just introduced their own Batwoman as well, which is pretty cool. I like these covers, these black and red covers. They're very stylistic, but that's the new Batwoman. And spoilers, Dick Tracy blank figure did too. Yeah, it did. It was like $1,000 now. No kidding. The Madonna figure was $1,000, right? But spoilers, the new Batwoman Beyond is Dick Grayson's daughter, Elena. She snuck into the Batcave and stole a suit. Now, this guy here, the Batman Who Laughs. Talk about sadistic. Look at this guy right here. This is a Batman from an alternate reality who has been infected with Joker blood. And he is a straight up psychopath. But such an amazing character at the same time. Like, look at that. That is crazy. Alright, so now we're getting into like other Batman series. And then the Outsiders. Alright. So, you know what, man? I know that all these other series are organized as it is. So I think we can take all this extra stuff, put it back here. And we still have room back there for other, Bat books, yeah, dig it. They're like one-shots, one-offs. Done. That's the Bat books, man. That is it. Got this main stuff here. Oh, okay. That wasn't so bad. Be able to throw an extra box up here, which is good. Let me just look at my next box to make sure. I think the next box actually. Let's see here. Is still bees. Wait. Did I do that wrong? Batman Beyond. I think I did that wrong, to tell you the truth. I think I need all the Batman Beyond to go over here instead. So, actually, take out all these extras like one-shots and stuff. Shots right here. All of these like one-offs and okay. Detective Comics. All right, so let's see if let's try this. Okay. All of that goes there. And then Batman Beyond. Let's take all of the Batman Beyond. Start putting them in here. And then behind that, I can start putting in like individual like mini series and stuff like that. It's like Batman Ninja Turtles 3. That was actually a pretty good series. Look at that! Look at that Bane Krang on the side over there. Oh, sorry, I need to reposition this back down here. There we go. Look at that Bane Krang over there. All right. And then we can start like that. Start moving these one shots over here like such. Okay. So technically the bat titles are done, but I can't put this box up yet because I still have like Battle of the Planets back here, which I know I have issues in this box over here. So this gets to go on the shelf though. I have to like crab walk it back there. Jeez. Okay. So I think that is it for my stream today. I will be doing more tomorrow of the same stuff. I've still got this box right here that I need to continue with, but needs to be filed from stuff back here. And I'll probably be doing, maybe I'll do it on Facebook Live tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. Later today, I'm going to be on doing a stream with a guy. His YouTube is Justice for Comics. If you look it up online, it's got like a kind of a skull-looking face to it. But it'll be about 6:30 our time, 6:30 Florida time, and it's called Whiskey, Cigars, and Comics. And be drinking some whiskey, smoking a cigar, and talking about comics if you want to tune in. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. And once again, thanks for hanging out. Randy, you and I will definitely do a video chat while we organize all of our crap sometime for sure. Next weekend, I'm all about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.